guys, welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to be giving my review on the Real Housewives of Atlanta season 13 episode 9 and the games that Atlanta be playing with us. So y'all, this is my second time recording this video. I literally recorded the entire thing and realized that my mic was not on, so the struggle is real. Alright, let's go ahead and get into the episode. Basically, it starts off where the last one ended, where Marlo and Kenya are getting into it with each other. And in that moment, I thought that Marlo was trying to be sincere. Later on in the episode, she went right back to the jabs that she's used to doing, which makes me question her motive. But in this moment, I thought that Marlo was really trying to be sincere. I thought that, she's just over arguing and being nasty and hateful towards each other. We get a montage of all the times that they've gone after each other, and it's just not a good look, you know. But Kenya says, you have not done this, 6 years ago, 5 years ago. You do this every year. You just did it this year, and I don't see it for you. And so the girls decide, or really Portia decides, that she wants to break the tension at the table, and she suggests them playing a game. Kenya says, sure, I forgot all about the game. Let me tell y'all the game. We're going to go upstairs, we're going to get in our pajamas, and we're going to go to sleep. Everybody's like, no, boo, we don't want to do that. So they decide they're going to play Never Have I Ever. So everybody goes up, and they go up and get comfortable, then they come back down. When they come back down, Cynthia goes to the kitchen, honey, to fix her a to-go bag for her, Mike, and her mama. I wasn't mad at it. If it was me, I'd have sure fixed me a to-go bag. They say that's an auntie thing to do. All right, well, auntie thinking about dinner for later on. Okay, I wasn't mad at it. And just for those of y'all who might be wondering how long that pig would be good, it'll be good for 7 days. According to Honey Baked Ham, it's good for 7 days. So I just packed it up in that Ziploc and made sure on the ride back to Georgia we had me a nice ice box right here. I'd be tearing that pork up on the way home. I'm just saying. But when they get back downstairs, everyone kind of quickly realizes that Kenya is not coming down. We can't start the game. Where's Kenya? So Candy goes up to check on Kenya, and we find out that, baby Brooklyn's up there, and she says that she's not coming down. She's not coming down, which really, aggravates Candy. You could tell Candy instantly got pissed off. So she comes back downstairs and relays the message to the girls that Kenya will not be, coming down and continuing the night with them. Everyone is very upset at this point. They feel like Kenya is being a terrible host. It's not fair how she brought her child. Then on top of that, she's exiting away from the group because just to go up there, and she's blaming it on being with baby Brooklyn. And so all the girls are very upset, and they let this ruin their night. This wouldn't have ruined my night, but they let this ruin their night, and everybody just ends up going to bed. So the next morning, we see Candy go up to Kenya's room, and basically they kind of get into it. Candy tells Cynthia that she's being a terrible hostess, that she's going out, she's taking a private jet, you bringing your baby, you buying your own food, and you're not even offering for the rest of the people. It's just at this point, there's a double standard in the house, and everything is leaning towards you, Kenya, and it's a problem. And at first, Kenya does not want to accept it, but when they sat down and Candy really broke it down, about how she's upset, she's not with her baby. She has the youngest baby in the cast, and she's upset, and her daughter's upset, and it's the whole thing. So I guess it kind of clicked and registered in Kenya, okay, maybe I'm, doing the most. So they go downstairs, and when they get together as a group again, Kenya does apologize for not ordering them food and for having her baby there and kind of ending the night early. Also, before they begin their day's activities, Cynthia's out talking to Mike Hill, just debriefing him, and all the other girls are in Candy's room, where she is giving out their outfits and letting them know that tonight they are going to be entering the dungeon, baby. All I'm saying is, we've been on this house tour for 3 episodes now. We done seen the attic, the kitchen, the breakfast nook, the baby's room, the guest quarters. Where is the dungeon? Take me to the dungeon. Okay? But we're finally finding out that we're going to the dungeon next episode because these producers are playing games. But you know who seems to be the most excited about the dick in the box? Portia and Latoya, honey. Honey, they seem like they ready to play. Now we know Portia might have been ready to play, but was that second person Latoya and we didn't even know it? Maybe we got the Toyas and the Tanyas mixed up. I guess we'll see next episode. So then they decide they're going to go out and work out. Latoya is going to be the host of today, and so they're going to go out, they're going to work out, and then they're going to go out to eat that night. So before they work out, you can't start a workout without a nice vodka shot, right? That just made sense. So they go out there and they start, I don't know, Zumba, yoga, jazzercise, dance class, twerking. I don't know what kind of class that was being led, but needless to say, there was a whole lot of booty, hips, and tits all over the screen because we're dealing with the Atlanta ladies, okay? But everybody is seeming to be in a good mood during this drunken workout. They're dancing, they're twirling. Kenya's doing what they called a coupe turn, which that was not a coupe turn. I just want that to be clear as the resident dancer in the room. That was not a coupe turn. But anyway, everybody seems to be having a good time. And so while they're doing that, Drew sits aside with Portia and she basically says that all she's seeing is fakery and phonery. Foolery. Fakery and foolery. Because these ladies were so upset last night, but now they're sitting here laughing, joking, and kikiing like nothing is wrong. And Portia just basically says, honey, that's the group dynamic. That's just kind of what it is. And that was Portia's way, in my opinion, of saying, like, girl, welcome to reality TV. That's how it goes. She says, you know, me and Kenya, we aren't friends. We've never been friends. We probably ain't never gonna be friends. But we can make it work throughout the day. But it's at this moment you realize, like, Drew is really, like, her wheels are turning, like she's finna say something, and we see that later. Also, another thing with Drew is she called Barf, and basically Barf hired a moving company to come in and pack up the boxes, and apparently the closing date has been pushed forward and Drew didn't know anything about it. And so now she's, you know, feeling anxious and feeling away because she's here with this group of fake girls when she could be home with her husband, packing up the house and getting ready for this move. And all I'm going to say about that is I have a few questions. I just have a few questions. Y'all are only there for 5 days in Charleston. This is day 3 of y'all being there. When did Ralph find out that the closing got pushed up? Also, you didn't know anything about this moving company come in, so they came in and packed up a whole house and you didn't even know they were coming in? Ralph is trying to leave you. Honey, all I'm saying is you've been gone for 3 days and all this stuff happened and you didn't know anything about it? But later on in the episode, you're going to try to throw shots about communication at Kenya's marriage? Something about that don't sound right to me. It sounds like you're getting left out intentionally. What do y'all think? Drop down in the comments and let me know. Well, before dinner, they all decide to sit around the TV because it's time for the charges against Breonna Taylor's killers to be brought forward, which, as we all know, none of them got, or I think only one of them got a charge, but none of them got a charge as a direct result of Breonna Taylor's death, which definitely upset a lot of people. It didn't surprise me personally, but it did upset me. And when they were sitting around waiting on this verdict, the ladies start kind of discussing, like Latoya and Tanya, they kind of discuss how they're not used to the kind of brutal treatment that blacks receive by police officers in Canada. They're not used to that. Kenya, she reveals that she had a grandfather who was white who disowned his biracial children and their families, because they were biracial, as if he didn't create them. And I just found that interesting too, because that's 2 family members that we know of Kenya that have completely severed ties with their children and cut themselves off. That's it. I don't know if they're from the same side of the family or from different sides of the family, but that definitely does say a lot about the family dynamic that Kenya is raised in. And I'm sure being cut off from Mark physically, from Brooklyn, I'm sure that triggers Kenya. I'm sure that could be triggering, even if he is a present father on the phone, which I don't know if he is or if he isn't. What we do know is that he lives in New York and that he has never spent the night alone with his own daughter. So to me, that does say that there is some abandonment there. I'm not saying he completely abandoned Brooklyn, but there is some abandonment there. And I'm sure that triggers Kenya immensely, and that could also be part of the reason why she shows up in the world the way that she does, not giving an excuse but giving it understanding. I'm just saying that I never knew that about Kenya's grandfather. Like, I don't think we've ever heard that. The charges come out and Portia gets emotional, and I think that was a very real moment, especially for her, because she was out there on the front lines. And so for you to do all of that and to risk your freedom, and just for it to seem like nothing, I'm sure that was frustrating for her. Yeah. All right, so after that, they all get dressed and they go to dinner. And basically dinner does not even start off well, because Drew already made it up in her mind that she wants to play a game called the fakes and the phonies, or realist and fakest, or whatever the name of the game is, honey. That was not a game. In other words, I'm finna start calling some people out. That's what that was, because there was not a game wrapped up in that. You gave it a title and you start reading people. Like, that's what that was. And basically it became a read Kenya session. I'm not going to get down into all the specifics because I did that in the first video and now I'm tired. But all I'm going to say is basically everyone is addressing Kenya and saying that they feel that it is a double standard, that they don't like the treatment that they've received during this trip. And Cynthia even says, it's about communication. Had you just let the girls know about possibly letting their children come? And then Kenya goes, well, I didn't have to let anyone's children come. I had to invite anyone, which riles everybody up at the table. Marlo takes a dig, which is why I say, Marlo, I thought you were sincere. I take it back. Candy clearly gets upset. Drew and Kenya start to have a little back and forth, and Kenya's not letting Drew talk, and that's when Drew takes the jab in her confessionals about Kenya reevaluating listening to people instead of just over talking them. She should use that in her friendships and in her marriage. I was like, ooh, the shade of it all. But I done told you, Drew, communication is key in your marriage too. All I'm saying is there's a lot of things you don't know. But basically it was just a whole bunch of, like, I don't want to say it was a bash Kenya session, because she was deserving of the backlash that she was getting, but I could also understand her I can understand her getting defensive, and that's just on a human level, whether I agree with her or not. On a human level, I understand her getting defensive because it feels like the whole table is against her. And so as she's over here trying to state her claim and talk about how, y'all are upset, then y'all should be my village, y'all should help me out, Portia's sitting in her phone, which then upsets Kenya, and they end up having a back and forth. Basically, Portia says, you can go ahead and give that sob story to everybody else. I can hear you, but I'm not checking for you. Basically, that's what that was. Kenya said, well, I'm going to wait for you to get off your phone. Well, you can wait. Then Kenya also snapped at Tanya at some point, but Tanya was just ordering appetizers for the table because she said she was hangry actually. I was with Tanya. I said, go ahead, Tanya, bring me some food. If I'm gonna have to deal with y'all squawking heifers, I'm gonna need some food in my system, okay? But by the end of this whole little ordeal, Kenya gives a standard housewife apology. If I made you feel any way for blah 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 blah. We'll see if she changes her her actions for the rest of this trip as the hostess, but this is like her third time being called out for being a crappy hostess. Third or fourth time. Maybe she just don't need to host no more trips. They get back home and Candy instructs everyone to go get dressed. Y'all literally have 15 minutes because I got plans, baby. I got a dick in the box in the backyard and I'm trying to open that box. All right, y'all, that's it. Next week we are finally gonna get to the dungeon. I've been waiting for this. Y'all make sure that y'all hit the subscribe button, like this video, and hit the notification bell if you have not done that already. And I will see y'all in the next video. Make sure if you are enjoying this type of content, you check out my Real Housewives of Atlanta playlist. Peace.